And hello, everybody. You're live. It's Monday night, July 7th. It's SherryTalkRadio. Well, they're falling out of the skies, aren't they? Every time I turn around and look at the news, there's a fireball coming out of the skies, and I just laugh. Another one bites the dust. You know, it's our job here on Earth. It's not only be followers of the Most High, but to be His warriors as well. We're surrounded by idiots. We're surrounded by people who don't serve Him, who don't love Him. And it's our job to be His servants on earth. And so I don't take that lightly. You know, I have a lot of fun being a warrior for the Most High and going on the defensive against His enemies. You know, the Lord's ways are not man's ways. And when He led us to Oregon about 5 or 6 years ago, who would have thought that it would lead to what it is today? I mean, I would have never thought in a million years. All the things that it does and all the things that it's doing. And so we just have to keep going. I really believe that we're at a turning point here. That July is just a turning point. You know, from looking at these codes for so many years, and 2009 just always being like the year straight from hell that everything was going to come crashing, and we're getting close. You know, it's you know, you can look at January 2009 as the official start, or you can look at September 2008 because the Hebrew calendar begins its new year, its next year, in September of every year. And so it's very interesting when I just view things in the codes and stuff, just the perspective I get from them, just being that July is going to be a turning point. I know that they always want to make their presence known on July 4th, probably because most people are outside at that time than any other time, and so it's a way of getting people's attention. They want people to see them in the skies and stuff, and so it's amusing. I haven't really heard anything out of the ordinary for this past July 4th. And so that it's amazing, because you never know what they're going to pull out of their hats. If you have a question for the show, you can send it to SherryTalkRadio@yahoo.com. No, I'm hearing from a lot of people that can't get the show live since the upgrade. And so, folks, if you have Winamp Player, you can download that. It's a free download. You can get the Winamp MP3 player for free. And then you can go to File and go to type in Earl or listen to Earl or whatever, and you can type in the direct Earl to this broadcast. And make sure you don't put any spaces in the Earl or anything, and you should be able to pull up this broadcast. And so that's the only other thing I can tell you to do. Except try to catch it off one of my other websites that has radio links. I know a lot of people still having problems getting hold of this show. You can only listen to it once it's recorded and archived, and would prefer to listen to it live, and so that's the only thing I can suggest to do. Tonight I want to talk about kind of wrapping up a look at prophecy, the second coming of Christ, eternity, the New Jerusalem, things like that. I know for a lot of people, we get events in our mind that things are going to happen a certain way, and timelines are going to happen a certain way, and the Lord's always said things are going to happen that people don't expect. Things are going to happen in ways we don't expect. And I think it's because people take out the factor that God uses mankind to fulfill what He wants done on earth. He will use people to fulfill prophecy, to do the things necessary to make prophecy happen. And so I know when you look at the angels and the angels listed in there's the 3 woes, and they're flying through the sky warning mankind. I know half you church people out there really expect a literal angel to fly through the sky. I know this. And so you have to rethink how you do things, because John was just basically trying to give us a picture of what was coming. And on the other hand, the Lord, you got to remember that He uses people to fulfill prophecy. And so kind of balance things out. Keep your eyes open to things. So many things, you know. I was talking over the weekend and to people, and it's just that so many things are going to happen that the church is going to be gone by then. You know, the United States of America, the country we know, most people will be dead by the time prophecy even comes to a total fulfillment. And they don't realize this. And so, you know, I know most people don't think about dying or being dead, but that's really what's going to be happening, because man is more rare than gold towards the last of the days. And so there's going to be a lot of death and destruction coming. And if you read the prophets, you know, put it into today's terminology, the things that they're describing, some vicious weather warfare is coming on this planet. And so that's another way that the Lord can bring about fulfillment of prophecy, is through these weather war weapons that our country's governments have. Just another way of looking at things. I know I hear from so many people about, well, what if they force somebody to get the chip and the mark of the beast and all this? And you know what? I think most of America is going to be in hiding or dead by the time that even comes about. And so just a heads up on how much destruction this country alone is going to face. Things aren't going to be the way that you've imagined them to be. And so, we've got a lot of martial law coming. We've got the Antichrist war on the saints coming. And that particularly is going to be just a war on not just the Lord's people, but all those who are resistors of the New World Order, because most of that would be the Lord's people. And the Patriots as well, any kind of resistors against this New World Order and this, if the other faction wins, we go down the route of an Islam takeover of the world, then that's another route. And that's what I've tried to do for years is prepare everybody for the different routes that things can happen with, that they can come with, that they can happen. But anyway, I want to talk about the second coming of Christ first, because most people get this impression, and I've always warned about this huge rapture theory, that it's false, that there's not going to be some huge multi-million people rapture off the face of the earth before the tribulation comes, and that's the problem with the churches today. They don't care about the last days because they don't think they're going to be here, and so they're not preparing, and they're not doing the things that the Lord has His people doing now that can hear Him. And so there's a variance, even just amongst the churches and the Christians today, because they all hold on to a certain belief or doctrine out of the Bible that they've picked and hold on to, and that's the one that they stick with. And so they don't think they're going to be here during the tribulation period. And they're the very ones that are going to become victim of the martial law camps, the guillotines, and the things that are coming up. And so, the Lord says that He's coming to destroy the wicked off the face of the earth. And Enoch said the same thing. In fact, it was one of the first things that you'll read in Enoch is how the Lord is going to destroy and remove the wicked off the earth. It doesn't say He's going to remove all the righteous. This is going to be some huge multi-million rapture of righteous people on earth. It says He's going to remove the wicked off the earth. And so, I can't stress that when you read the KJV, when you read the Bible, to read it the way it's written. You can always pull out scripture somewhere else to negate a truth in the New Testament and make it back into an apostate error. And that's the problem. There's so many different scriptures that people just take them out of context so they can keep believing and staying in the errors that they're in. But there is a small, tiny removal of the 144,000 off the earth, and so but that's not a multi-million church-age rapture that the churches are preaching today. In fact, they just sell a lot of books doing that. They make a lot of money commercializing the rapture, because every time somebody thinks they've got a new date for the rapture, they come out with a book, and they sell millions of it. They commercialize prophecy. They commercialize the Most High. They sell people on false hope. They put them to sleep. Even the pagans are putting people to sleep. You've got the Hopi Indians and all these other native groups that have the people, watch out for 2012. The world's going to end in 2012. And that's a hoax as well, folks, because we don't even have that much time. They want you to wait till 2012 so you just stay asleep until then. Oh, you might think about it in 2011. You need to be preparing now, because most of the world won't even get to 2012. They don't want you to prepare.